What has been said and wondered about the mysterious giant Egyptian pyramids, about which different theories have been put forward for years? First of all, let's answer what are the reasons why the Egyptian pyramids are astronomically mysterious. The geographic coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza are exactly 29.9792458 degrees north. Although this coordinate may seem like something that doesn't make any sense, those who are curious and research have realized that this number is exactly the same as the speed of light moving at 299,792,458 meters per second. But humans weren't able to measure the speed of light with this precision until the construction of the pyramids in 1950. There are also other coincidences that show that the ancient Egyptians were more in tune with the universe than historians think. One of the most well-known features of the Great Pyramid of Giza is that it was built exactly aligned to the north. The theory that the pyramids were built along the Orion Belt has long been unconfirmed. However, the theory was confirmed by the Ministry of Antiquities. According to the theory, the three pyramids of Giza were built in alignment with the three bright stars of the belt of Orion, Al-Nitak, Al-Nilam, and Mintaka. The brightest and best-known constellation, the Orion constellation, has influenced many cultures around the world. It is one of the constellations used by sailors for navigation and is the only constellation visible in the entire world. The closest star in the Orion belt is Al-Nitak, located 800 light-years from Earth and thought to be 100,000 times brighter than the Sun. Some conspiracy theorists thought that the theory pointed to the existence of aliens and claimed that it was kept a secret. Another interesting feature is that the mass of the Great Pyramid, which is about 6 million tons, is equal to the total mass of the Earth when multiplied by 100 million. So, what kind of mysteries are there about the construction and history of the pyramids? Let's look at them now. Ancient stone structures built in the form of pyramids in Egypt are called Egyptian pyramids. The number of Egyptian pyramids is around 100. Built from 2630 BC to 1550 BC, the Egyptian pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs and high officials. These gigantic structures both displayed the power and wealth of a person and meant to be a place of ascension to the afterlife. Built around 2630 BC at Saqqara for King Djoser of the 3rd dynasty in Egypt, the Step Pyramid is the oldest known pyramid. Pyramids can be any size, from the first stepped pyramid of Djoser to the bent pyramid, where the pyramid angle was changed in the middle of construction, and the three iconic pyramids of Giza. During Djoser's nearly 20-year reign, the pyramid builders created the 6-stepped stone layer, the tallest structure of its time, which eventually reached a height of 62 meters. The magnificent Great Pyramids of Giza are among the largest in the world, and the Great Pyramids of Giza are quite mysterious. Although there are 3 pyramids at Giza, only one of them has the title of wonder of the ancient world. The oldest and largest of these pyramids is the Great Pyramid, also known as the Khufu Pyramid. Despite the high archaeological value of these structures, not much is known about what is inside these rather high structures. Some questions, such as exactly how and why these structures were built, remain a topic of debate among scientists. That's why the structures remain a mystery. So what is known about the pyramids of Giza, and is this information fact or fiction? Who built these huge pyramids and for what purpose? What is known about how these structures were built, or what are the guesses about how they were built? Let's think in more detail and try to unravel the mystery of one of the most amazing monuments in the world. Around 2550 BC, the first Giza pyramid project was started by Pharaoh Khufu. The Pyramid of Khufu, also called Cheops, consists of 2.3 million stone blocks weighing between 2.5 and 16 tons each and is the largest pyramid in Egypt. The height of this pyramid is 147 meters, and the base edge of the pyramid is 230 meters. Its construction took 20 to 30 years. A workforce of 100,000 was used in the construction of the Khufu Pyramid. Some argue that building such a formidable structure required a huge slave labor force. Others argue that paid professional workers built the pyramids. In reality, however, slaves did not build the pyramids. Historians have concluded that the pharaohs employed peasants to build pyramids during the dry season to generate income. Working peasants earned wages, food, and housing throughout this process. The pyramid is located approximately 25 kilometers southwest of Egypt's capital, Cairo. There is a large granite sarcophagus in the Great Pyramid of Khufu. The ancient Egyptians did not have iron tools, so they had to improvise a lot without iron tools. It was quite difficult for them to use hard stones such as granite. Although copper and bronze tools were available, these materials were not hard enough to cut granite. That's why the Egyptians used harder tools made of dolomite to cut granite. They also rubbed powdered quartz on the blocks to ensure smoothness. These choices were very important for the construction of the Great Pyramid. The smaller pyramid of Menkaure, built circa 2490 BC by Pharaoh Menkaure, had a rather complex mortuary temple. Each side is 109 meters, and the completed height of the structure is 66 meters. Around 2520 BC, Khufu's son Pharaoh Khafre built the second pyramid at Giza. The structure has a length of 216 meters on both sides, and its original height was 143 meters. Its necropolis also included the Sphinx with a lion's body and a pharaoh's head. And this mysterious monument is made of limestone. Every pyramid in Giza is a tomb temple. Also, the pyramids here are within a larger complex that includes a network of interconnected paths. All three pyramids were plundered internally and externally in ancient and medieval times. For this reason, the grave goods left in the burial chambers were lost. The pyramids are no longer at their original height. That's because almost all of their outer covering, made of smooth white limestone, has peeled off. Therefore, the Great Pyramid is currently 138 meters high. What can we say about the Great Sphinx of Giza? Consisting of a lion's body and a human head, the Sphinx was considered a sacred mythological symbol. According to this idea, courage and strength were represented by the body of the lion, while the human head represented the knowledge and intelligence of a king. At Giza, the Great Sphinx was built in mind as the guardian of the pyramids. Some blocks reached Aswan, 500 miles from Giza, where the pyramids are located. Wheeled machines did not work well in thick soil, so how were pyramids built so large without the use of simple machines such as wheels until 1500 BC? The blocks were thought to be transported using sledges and wet sand. Men dragging a huge statue on a sled are depicted in Jehutihotep's tomb. In this picture, a person pours water on the sand in front of him. While it may seem like a ceremonial gesture, physicist Daniel Bohn recently discovered that using about 2 to 5% of the volume of sand increases the hardness of the sand and reduces the dragging object's friction with the ground. It is likely that this technique was used to drag stone blocks for pyramid construction. Many different technology proposals have been presented to solve the remaining mysteries of the Great Pyramids. In 2017, scientists looked inside the pyramids using particle physics and discovered a gap more than 30 meters long. This discovery was made using muon radiography technology. The purpose of this gap is unknown. Known as the Scan Pyramid's Big Void, this void can be horizontal or curved. There may also be a possibility that there are several small rooms. The other possibility is that there is a second grand gallery, but it is unlikely to be a burial chamber. Maybe it has to do with the engineering and construction secrets behind the pyramid. The ancient Egyptians used a clever method to break stones. Since the ancient Egyptians did not have iron tools, they had to improvise. The Egyptians dug grooves in the rocks. They then placed wooden wedges in the hollows they had dug to break the stone and immerse them in water. Thus, as the wood absorbs the water, it expands and causes the stone to break. Thanks to the crushing of stones, they formed blocks that were ready to be used in construction. They used heat-treated gypsum to bind the stones of the pyramid together, but archaeologists wonder how they obtained enough wood to burn as fuel. How were the blocks removed without the use of mechanical methods when brought to the construction site of the pyramid? The ramp in a quarry in the construction of the Khufu pyramid means that the ancient Egyptians were able to remove stone blocks from a steep ramp. It is possible that similar ramps were used to pull stones from different places used in the construction of the pyramid. However, it is not known exactly how the system was used. Here ends what we can say about the known and unknown aspects of the pyramids. See you in another video.